So how was that, teaching puberty? What do you think? Like,
back when I started, like, maybe 18 years ago, the first time I was a little nervous, but I had a public health nurse come in. They did that in Peel at that time, and she was really comfortable and really good about it, and she handled the whole thing so well, laughed when it was appropriate, was serious when it was appropriate. It really made me think, hey, I can do this.
Perfect.
And after that example, I've actually enjoyed doing that part of the program because there's a lot of things you can do with that. I've done it lots of different ways. One year I think we studied, as a lead-in, though the kids didn't realize that, we looked at reproductive stuff from everything from bacteria right up to mammals. And of course, when we got into mammals, we started doing puberty, and by that point in time they were so comfortable with some of those words that get used that it was really quite easy for us. I mean, it was still, they were nervous and it was exciting and all that stuff, but it was very comfortable. And I've also done focus things where you use a video or read something and then have talks, and over a period of time have question boxes and solicit from the kids what it is that they want to talk about as well.
Right, because we have our agenda, and then they have things that come up for them, right?
Yeah.
And do you think those things change over the years, the things that, or did you find that it became fairly predictable after doing the classes? It's
pretty predictable. Some of you never know though what kinds of things they'll have heard about or seen in movies that they want to ask about. The nice thing about doing it question box wise is if it's something you don't really want to deal with, you don't have to. If it's just beyond, what you want to discuss in a class. Right. But you can even, if the kids are asking silly questions or stuff, it's like, well, we can talk about that later, or that's not really an appropriate forum for this. But most of the time, the stuff that they're interested in is very legitimate. Right. And it's not only focused on sexual things, it also has to do with gender stuff and stereotyping and pressures around who you should be and shouldn't be. And they also find that really interesting to talk about. Body image stuff is another thing we would get into. Those are all interesting topics for them that come out of that.
So beyond the plumbing,
narrow
kind of
puberty thing. That's probably the least interesting part for them in a sense. I guess it's important to realize that for a lot of the kids, I think a comfortable situation to discuss all this stuff, if you can provide it for them, that's probably about the only place a lot of them are going to get.
Absolutely, it is.
For a variety of reasons, and you're really doing them not a favor, but you're really giving them something to provide that opportunity for them to discuss this stuff in a room where everyone's comfortable.